Moving on with the summit, we have our next address by our very special guest, Shri C.S. Ranjeet Pandey. He is a chairman, ESG board, past president, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, ICSI. A fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, a law graduate from University of Delhi, and an insolvency professional, Shri C.S. Ranjeet Pandey is a practicing company secretary, having over 20 years of experience in the field of corporate governance, compliance management and due diligence, corporate restructuring and insolvency and bankruptcy. He is presently chairing the ESG and Sustainability Board of ICSI and is also a member of the Disciplinary Committee of Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICSI. He has served as the president of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India for the year 2019 and Vice President Corporate Secretaries International Association CSIA. Given his rich knowledge and experience in corporate governance and its allied areas, he was made a part of the Primary Market Advisory Committee of SEBI as ex officio member, High Level Committee on CSR of Government of India, Insolvency Law Committee, Government of India, and last but not the least, Working Government of MCA, Working Group of MCA for finalizing BRSR framework of reporting for listed entities. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. C.S. Pandey. Can we have...
Thank you so much. I was listening to the deliberations of the first session and second session, panel discussion, and quite a rich deliberations has happened. On the ESG, I must compliment all the panelists throughout. In fact, when I entered the hall, I was listening to Aruna ji, and it was a delight to hear the rich experience, knowledge, and practical insight of all the professionals who are dealing day in, day out with the ESG. So friends, I am delighted to be part of the Dun & Bradstreet ESG Leadership Summit, and I express my gratitude and give compliments to DNB on the behalf of ICSI, Institute of Company Secretaries of India family. To start with, I will say that today corporate world is changing and becoming more sensitive and sensible towards the ESG. And you can see everywhere, be it regulator, be it, say, professionals, technical expert, board, and corporate, and more importantly, even investors are giving more and more thrust to the ESG. Though ESG is, in ESG, all three words, ESG, is very important, very relevant, and it has equal importance. I will not undermine any of the three words. But for me, being a governance professional and belonging to the institution whose motto is to promote governance and vision is to become the corporate leader in the global leader in the promoting good corporate governance, G becomes the most important factor. And why I'm saying because of the substance, because of the reason. You are all aware that if company is not good governed, then make any strategy, make any principle for ESG or anything, it is very difficult to implement or execute. So execution and implementation, and in fact I was hearing to the panelists also, they also stressed upon that awareness, going it deep down to all stakeholders, acceptability and adaptability is very important. And if company is not good governed and governance principles are not being followed, then you make many strategy, every strategy is going to fail. So for me, G is very important, and governance, if corporate governance in the company is better, implementation is better, reporting, transparency and accountability is better, then definitely we will be able to achieve the desired result. So today from this platform of ESG Leadership Summit, and hailing from the governance institution, I would give much stress to two words, G and S, governance and sustainability. And when I am talking about sustainability, it may be environment related sustainability, it may be society, and it may be corporate as a whole. And here comes the principle of 3 Ps. And you are all aware what 3 Ps are: people, planet, and profit. And when I talk about the people, planet, and profit, friends, we are utilizing the human resources. Are we giving them back enough? Equity, inclusion, community development. I think pay packages and salaries everybody is getting. But healthy atmosphere to live and equality and inclusion, all these things are relevant for the people. And unless and until people are taken care, who is going to work and who is going to take the benefit of what we are doing. So that is first and foremost, people is very important. Next comes the planet where we live. There is a saying कि पंच तत्वों से बना हुआ है ये पूरा धरती, ब्रह्मांड और हम सारे लोग. भूमि, गगन, वायु, आकाश, ऊर्जा and नीर, जल. So भूमि, गगन, वायु, आकाश, नीर and जल, नीर मतलब जल, everything we are usurping from the, say, atmosphere and Srishti. If we are taking it for the purpose of generating the profit, are we giving it back? We have the responsibility as a business or corporate world to give it back to the planet. Be it low carbon emission, be it energy efficiency, no solarization or conservation of water, everything is relating to Panchatattva only. So, having said so, ESG framework, and in fact coming back to the topic given, ESG framework in context of the governance and compliances. I think there are 6 or 7 things we need to follow. Number 1, establishing the principle and setting the ESG goal for the organization. That is far most important because strategy and setting the principle and your own goal is very, very important. Board should consider it. Board should properly adopt it as a policy. And once it is adopted, then comes adaptability. So adopting and adaptability is the second thing. That means communicating it down the line to all the stakeholders, all the constituents involved into the process of implementation. Then comes the third stage is implementing the ESG principles and norms in the organization. Fourth is monitoring. Very, very important and essential. You are implementing, but whether you are achieving the desired result or not, that is also very, very relevant. So monitoring becomes the fourth pillar. Then comes the reporting. Transparent reporting. And in fact, BRSR has done the wonderful job. I was being part from the ICSI side. I was part of that particular working group, which was working on the BRSR under the chairmanship of Mr. Gyaneshwar Singh, the then Joint Secretary of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And we deliberated on various aspects that how to make it more relevant and it should have all the global principles also. So that reporting is already there, applicable to the company having some threshold limit. Then comes, last but not least, corrective measures and continuous improvement. This is another very important factor which we should consider, because you are reporting, you are giving the transparent disclosure, but somewhere we must be lacking. We may not be able to create that much of impact which we are supposed to create. In the social impact assessment, environmental impact assessment, or maybe say overall ESG, whatever strategy and goal we have set up, whether we are able to achieve or not. So that is required to be taken care of. So friends, growth and scale will give rise to the larger execution and logistic related risk, which requires effective corporate strategies, and that brings the responsibility on the sectoral and market regulators, institutions like Institute of Company Secretaries of India and similar, say, statutory bodies, organization like DNB, to implement the ESG principle in letter and true spirit. This brings also need to have the efficient and trained professionals, both technical, legal, and on the governance field. We at Institute of Company Secretaries of India is training such kind of professionals. We are trying to inculcate, say, ESG metrics or ESG factors into their knowledge, and even study at the study level itself. Full-fledged, module has been introduced for them, so that in future some good ESG professionals at the grassroots level should also be there. To conclude, I must emphasize on 4 A's. Number 1 is awareness. Number 2 is adaptability. Number 3 is adaptability. And number 4 is accountability. So if we'll follow all these 4, then we will definitely going to achieve the desired results. My compliments to all the award winners for being flag bearer of the ESG journey, and many congratulations to all of them. Appreciate also the very significant role played by DNB in bringing this, because what is important, everybody is doing wonderful job, but once you bring them to the platform and appreciate them, it spreads the message all across to other corporates to follow, and best practices will evolve, so that all and more companies, not only who are regulated, more and more such companies should follow the ESG norm. Everywhere it should become the buzzword, and people should start following. It should become the norm. So friends, at the end, I will compliment everyone, DNB specifically, for organizing this event and giving me opportunity to come here and express my view on the behalf of ICSI. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much for your insights. Truly appreciate your time. I would love to request Mr. Avinash Gupta to please come on stage. Mr. Avinash Gupta is the Managing Director and CEO, India, Dun & Bradstreet, and would appreciate, sir, if you could please hand over the memento to Shri C.S. Ranjeet Pandey. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks, Avinash.